The Shroud of Turin has long been a fascinating relic, but this X-ray forensic. See, the shroud, let me tell you what this is. Those who can't see this because you're listening, I want you to pay attention to this. The Shroud of Turin is a rectangular piece of cloth measuring approximately 14 feet and 5 inches by 3 feet 7 inches, characterized by a finer weave of the 3/1 herringbone pattern that is renowned for bearing a faint brownish image. It's like a forensic photograph, an X-ray, if you will, of a man with his hands folded over his groin area. Presently, the shroud is kept in the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in Turin, Italy, hence the Shroud of Turin. And it's revered by many as a burial cloth of Jesus. Now, the reason why this is such a controversial subject is because with science, with modern science, we're always able to add another layer of investigation into things that we have that we can preserve. You know, you could have a preserved, DNA of a Tyrannosaurus, but eventually you're Jurassic Park, where you could actually make it come alive. So what they've got now is the shroud with the new X-ray technique. Scientists are saying at the Institute of Crystallography of the National Research Council that they studied 8 samples of fabric from the shroud. That is the actual burial garment which bears the imprint of a man killed by crucifixion. Definitely the man was crucified. Using a method called wide-angle X-ray scattering, they were able, through that technology, to look at the structural integrity of the linen's fibers at a molecular level, which offered a much more precise dating. Because the argument was, this is really from the 1400s, the third. Oh, no, it dates back 2,000 years ago, ladies and gentlemen. But what is especially interesting is that because of the thickness of the shroud, if it was a painted-on image, let's say there was like a brushwork, some artist did some artwork, it would be on the top levels, and then you might have some paint seeping through. But this is a X-ray from the bottom level to the top, imprinted as though some bolt of light had come into a dark room and left a photo imprint on the cloth. The equivalent of how many thousands of watts, millions of watts would have to be flashed on a human body to create that kind of an X-ray effect on a piece of cloth all the way through the layers of the fabric. Hence, they say the only explanation for this is some unusual phenomena took place to create the human imprint that's never been repeated in history. It would have been the moment of resurrection. It would have been the moment in which light entered into that body and left an imprint on the cloth as resurrection life.